Door's not shut. No. Yeah, door's shut. Direction. This fan is stuck engaged, so it's really, really difficult to turn. It does have a VGT turbo on there. There we go. So it's a lot of power to run a knackered fan. Hello, welcome back to the channel. You join us on a bitterly cold morning. Happy New Year to you all. It's good to be back, although a few more days holiday wouldn't have hurt, would it? 300 TDI, back on with another 300 TDI. So this one, bit of a last minute booking really. So it's got a bigger intercooler on it, it's already got boost pin and bits fitted to it, but nothing's been adjusted, nothing's been changed timing wise. And the customer basically gave us a call, said, can we do anything with it? Feels very lazy low down, but at sort of motorway speeds, it's okay. It's got a, sort of a nice spot up there. Said to him, yeah, without a doubt, bring it down to us. We'll do what we usually do, so we'll take it on a road test, make sure everything feels right, feels good, put it on the dyno. We'll then run it to see what it's doing as it's arrived with us. And yeah, make some decisions from there as to what our next step is to make it better. So yeah, plenty of character this one. As you can see, it's definitely a well-used truck, well-loved. And yeah, it's certainly got some stories to tell, this one, I would imagine. So we'll get the camera mount fitted to it, I'll find Will, and we'll get on the road and see what it's like. Door's not shut. No. Yeah, door's shut. Oh God, his clutch is high. It's like something out of a Wii.
I think
you know, the little Wii controllers.
I think you should just steer with the centre boss.
It basically is the centre boss. Right, let's see what this thing's like. So, according to the odometer, we're 170,000 miles. Just run in, yeah. Gonna wash the windscreen. Sort of. Yeah, this thing's definitely been someplace, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Been used.
Your door not shut either. Oh, it's lazy.
Is it?
Oh, is that flat out? No smoke, no. Yeah, foot flat down. Sometimes it's hard to tell though, when the last one of these you was in was the silver truck with 300 horsepower. You get in something like this, it doesn't matter how quick one of these is, it's going to feel slow. Doesn't feel strong, put it that way. It seems to get there, but just not very well. That's flat out. Yeah, not quick.
What, better than stock?
Oh yeah, you can tell it's had upgrades done to it, but it just doesn't. It's exactly as he said, it doesn't feel like it's got much low down. It doesn't want to sort of pull you along. What the hell that rattling noise is. Let's show it a hill and see what happens. It actually feels surprisingly tight.
Does it? Like the size of steering wheel.
Yeah, probably. Right, foot flat down. Got it, hasn't it? It's sort of, it's not.
It's got a boost pin.
Yeah. Not the worst I've driven.
Some Tdi Defender slower than this.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just lacking that little bit of sort of go. Yeah, it's not. It'll do it, but it doesn't want to do it. Is what it feels like. Just wants a bit of fettling. I think with a bit of fettling, it'll actually be half reasonable. It doesn't bite until your foot is off the clutch.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't slip with the tune.
Well, it wasn't doing sort of back there, and that was fourth gear. Sort of foot flat down at low speed. It seemed to bite all right. Yeah. All in all, that's exactly as he described, but better than I thought it was going to be by looking at it externally. So, right, we'll take her back, we'll chuck her on the dyno, and we'll see whether Will's right. What are you saying, 120 horsepower?
I reckon, yeah.
Right, jury's out then. Right, so now on the dyno with it, and Will was right. I've double checked with the customer, obviously. Visually you can see it does have a VGT turbo on there, so that sort of goes some way to explaining why it was a sort of real lazy low down. It does run out top end, so there is still work we can do on this to improve it. The other thing we noticed, and this is something that we see quite regularly, not just on the 300s, but we see on the TD5s as well, the viscous fan. I'll turn the camera around and show you. So, pointing in the right direction. This fan is stuck engaged, so it's really, really difficult to turn. That, although it stops the engine from heating up correctly, it actually will be robbing power. And to prove a point of this, we're going to run the vehicle exactly as it has arrived. So we've come off road test, strapped it onto the dyno. We'll do a dyno run exactly as it is, and then we'll pull the fan from it and we'll do another run. I estimate that this fan is costing this engine somewhere between 10 and 15 horsepower, but proof will be in the pudding, so let's get it dynoed and see what it does. So Will was pretty much bang on the money. 123.4 horsepower, 384.7 newton meters of torque. What I will say, and you'll see that in the video, that actually was really smoky. But this is a prime example of just because it's smoky in the dyno doesn't mean it's smoky out on the road, because this out on the road didn't put out any smoke whatsoever. And the differences are, out on the road, you went up through your gears, so you're allowing it to climb in RPM, gain more speed before you change up. So on the dyno, what we're doing is it's basically a fourth gear pull from as lower RPM as possible, so it's immediately under a lot of load. And then we're in an enclosed cell. And although we've got this massive fan here that's blowing loads and loads of air over the vehicle, it actually sort of balls up inside the room and it swirls around, so it's not blowing the smoke out of the room as you would envision. That and the fact that this thing's got a side exit, so the extractor isn't really in the right place for it because it's too high. But yeah, we're going to take the viscous fan off it now and we'll show you exactly what difference that makes. There we go, so pretty much 10 horsepower, 134.8 and 388.8 newton meters of torque. Now, you can see from these overlays, so thin line is the run that we did prior to removing the fan, the thick line is after we've removed the fan. So you can actually see, torque-wise is what we're looking at here, so this is the newton meters. It's pretty much improved it through the whole range, which just shows you that actually the amount of power it is taking to drive one of these, when it's fully engaged and not working as it should, is a pretty substantial amount. Certainly when you're chasing not a lot of horsepower anyway with a 200 or 300 TDI. But yeah, there's still room for improvement on this in terms of making some adjustments to make the most of the upgrades that are fitted to it. So we'll crack on with those, and yeah, we'll run her again. Is it exactly 12 horsepower thereabouts? Yeah, 12 horsepower. And I said it'd be between 10 and 15. What we'd
35 newton meters.
35 newton meters of torque.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that top end.
Big difference.
Yeah. So there we go. It takes a lot of power to run a knackered fan. So what we're doing now, Will? What's the plan?
We're just going to do some fuel tweaks, some timing tweaks.
Usual.
The usual, yeah.
So this has had a refurbished pump on it as well. That was another thing that was done.
It's got a boost pin in it, hasn't it?
It's got a boost pin in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do some
fettling. Some fettling.
Right, so just on the timing, but it'd appear that the belt's been done about a tooth out, so we've not been able to advance the timing that much.
quite common nowadays that people don't set the vernier pulley up correctly, and you can only go one way rather than the way you want to go.
Yeah. And then we're going to tweak the pump a little.
Yes. There's not much room on this one.
Is it because of that header tank? Is it?
Yeah.
It's been spaced off, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is, which is now right in the right. I don't know why it's been spaced off. Oh, it's got tubular turret.
Ah, yes. Which is why every job is different. Because everyone's been tinkered with and altered in its own little way. That's what we're adjusting, just the fuel screw at the moment.
Just adjusting the tick over because it's already quite high when it came in.
Right.
I do think his clutch is hanging on for dear life though. By the sounds of it.
Yeah. Probably still the original.
Maybe, yeah.
What mileage was it on?
170.
170.
With the original engine actually. So it had gas cans.
Mm-hmm. You're not get many modern cars to do that sort of mileage, would you?
Hell no.
A lot to be said for the old vehicles.
Definitely.
They just go and go forever. And if you can get a bit more horsepower out of them so they keep up with modern traffic, you're laughing.
Exactly. Right. See what that does.
Okay. Right, we shall give this a run and see what we make. Shouted right into the mic.
You forget it was on there.
Yeah.
146, turn this fan off. 146 horsepower and 413.3 newton meters of torque. So same again as you've just seen on the last ones. So thick line is the run that we've literally just done. So you can see again, a nice chunk of sort of a nice positive gain across the board with that. It'd be very, very interesting to see what this one is actually like on the road now. It seemed seem to want to rev out a little bit more just by hearing that. I don't know whether you can hear that sort of very well through the microphone. And the other thing was, not as smoky. So, as Will said, obviously there's issues with adjusting the timing on this to get the most from it, but actually, I think the changes you've made have...
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah, they've done all right. So, tweaking it a bit more now.
Yeah, I'm just going to mess with the actuator.
Right. So what we're adjusting now?
Tick over again.
So you're adjusting the tick over on it, and then what's your plan?
I think we'll try and put a bit more preload on the actuator.
Yeah.
It does need a clutch, you know, because it's
Yeah, the clutch is toast. So just adjusting the tick over on this. The tick over on this was slightly high, and then we're going to put a bit more preload on the turbo actuator. So yeah, see what happens with that. But I don't know whether you can hear Will very well, but he was just saying, I mean, we said it on the road test, well, the clutch is really high on this one. And again, we're doing these dyno pulls because it's a fourth gear, sort of real low speed. You're putting a lot of stress on the components in these. So if the clutch, although it may feel all right on the road, albeit very high, actually you can push it past its limit and start ending up with creating clutch slip trying to do a dyno pull. So yeah, we'll make these adjustments, or Will make these adjustments, and run it again. Keep fettling it. Right, so unfortunately, as suspected, clutch is slipping. So we spoke to the customer, he said it's never had a clutch in it, literally since the day it left the factory, so we knew it was high on the test drive anyway, and I think at one point me or Will did say we'd be surprised if it actually holds onto it through the dyno session. And as much as we try and get a full pull out of it, it's not having it, so we're having to be, or Will's having to really sort of gently feather the power into it, which sort of on a graph you lose a bit at the bottom end, but it gives us an idea as to where we're heading with it in terms of figures. So at the minute it is 147 horsepower and 404 newton meters of torque. Now it's going to be more than that, isn't it?
I should say it'd be easy 150 and probably around 450 newton meters of torque, if I could get my foot down.
Yeah, so, but the customer's going to take the vehicle away, get a clutch put into it, and then he is going to bring it back to us, and he's also going to replace his viscous fan while he's at it as well. So unfortunately for this video, that is as far as it goes. Now it does happen. We are working with motor vehicles, but yeah, just going forward, if you're booking in for a dyno session, make sure your clutch is good, because it is hard on them. So, but no, thank you very much for watching. From us three,
Goodbye.
we'll see you on the next one.